Beneath the sea and the ocean there is a mystical dimension inhabited by divine beings known as the Others. Chun, our protagonist, explains that the ceiling of her world is the sea, and that the Others are in charge of controlling the natural laws, although they are not gods by any means. One day, while Chun is having fun all over town, her family and all the villagers begin to move towards the center, where a very important ritual is taking place. She and her friend Q take their horses to get to the ritual as quickly as possible, as Chun must participate. The whole town is very excited about the ceremony, but Chun's mother is very worried about her daughter, as she fears that something bad might happen. The magicians and shamans begin the ritual and a portal begins to open between their dimension and the human world. Chun's mother takes advantage of the last moments with her daughter and reminds her that she must return to her world on the 7th day. Otherwise, the portal will close and she will never be able to return. She also tells her that she must not trust any human. At that moment, some shamans appear and give Chun the special ritual brew. Drinking it, she says goodbye to her family and enters the portal, where she transforms into a beautiful red dolphin. Before leaving for the human world, she says goodbye to her mother, who again reminds her in tears that she must not trust humans. As she rises to the surface, Chun explains that all the beings of his world must participate in the initiation rite, which consists of getting to know the human world for 7 days to see up close how the natural laws they control work. All dolphins are amazed to observe the beauty of the human world. As they take their first steps into the human world, a tender girl and her brother happily greet them from the shore. Upon seeing the boy, Chun is amazed. Then, the dolphins separate and Chun travels through the beautiful landscapes of the human world, passing through all the cities and marveling at things he had never observed before. One day, Kun and his sister spend their time watching the fish, until Kun decides to go into the water to feed them. There he encounters one of the red dolphins, who turns out to be Chun. She is again amazed to see the boy and watches him for hours, while he plays his ocarina at night. Chun heads to the portal that will take her back to her world, as it is the 7th day, but the sea is mined with obstacles due to the huge storm that is raging in the waters. Chun tries to save a group of dolphins that got caught in a fishing net, but unfortunately, she also gets caught in one. Kun and his sister see this from the shore, so the young man decides to risk his life to save her and ignores his sister's warnings. He jumps into the water and uses a razor to cut the ropes of the net. But when he manages to free Chun, she accidentally hits him due to her fear and sends him straight into the whirlpool. Kun does his best to survive, but Chun finds him drowned in the depths. She regrets what happened and takes the ocarina that Kun used to play. Chun returns to shore for a moment and finds Kun's sister crying desperately. After this, Chun returns to her world and her parents receive her with joy, but they notice that Chun is not very cheerful. Moreover, it can be seen that Chun has Kun's ocarina. The next day, she visits her grandfather's house and asks him where humans go when they die, and he replies that their bodies turn to dust, while their souls are transformed into fish. Later, Chun sits on a bridge playing the ocarina until she is interrupted by the statue behind her, which gives her a rattle and tells her that she will be able to bring Kun back to life if she follows her orders. That same night, Chun takes the rattle and leaves his house after collecting some items. He runs through the village running in the rain until he comes across Q, who was sitting at his window hanging out. Seeing her, he gets worried and decides to follow his friend. Chun arrives at the place where he talked to the statue and rings the bell. Immediately after that, a divine being appears in a boat and Chun climbs aboard. After being transported through the waters for a long time, Chun arrives at a strange and mystical place where she meets Ling Po, the guardian of souls. He explains to her that she can offer half her life in exchange for reviving Kun, but that to do so would be to disobey the rules of the universe. As Chun accepts, Ling Po takes her to the place where all souls rest to look for Kun. But she did not even know his name, so she searched for him for 6 hours until she managed to find him thanks to the mark Kun had on his forehead. Ling Po performs the ritual and warns Chun that she must take care of Kun until he is able to return to the world of humans, otherwise his soul will vanish forever. The next day, Chun hangs out in her room thinking of a name for Kun, as she was completely unaware of what the human who saved her life was called. At that moment, Q appears and, coincidentally, tells her that Kun might be a good name for him, as it means big. One day, Chun returns to his room and discovers that his mother got rid of Kun, so he desperately goes out to look for him. Fortunately, she crosses paths with Q, who offers to help her. They both arrive at the place where all the city's waste is concentrated and see Kun. Q offers to rescue him but leaves almost immediately due to the foul smell coming from the waste. A strange woman appears and subtly taunts the children. She then sends her rats into the sewer to save Kun. To prevent the same thing from happening again, Chun and Q take Kun to a water well and hide him, but a child spies on them and gives them away. Fortunately, by the time the townspeople go to corroborate what the boy said, Chun and Q had already removed Kun from the well. They take Kun to a pond to keep him safe, but a snake attacks them by surprise. Q manages to defeat it, but receives a poisonous bite on his ankle. Chun takes Q to his grandfather's house to save him, but he tells him that it will be nearly impossible to remove the venom from such a dangerous snake. In agony, Q hands her friend a mysterious object. Anyway, Chun leaves the room and the old man begins to do his best to heal Q. At night, Chun watched the object given to her by her friend until he suddenly appears and surprises her, filling her with joy. The next day, Chun rushes into her grandfather's room and he confirms that his life is about to come to an end, using his last minutes to comfort Chun, who again believes she is responsible. In the next scene, Chun's grandfather passes away and transforms into a begonia tree, which protects the birds and gives them a home, including his wife, who after his death reincarnated as a phoenix and accompanied her husband during his last years. On a snowy day, Chun confesses to Q that she has given up half her life in exchange for saving Kun. At that moment, the old woman takes advantage of Chun's departure to send one of her rats to warn Q that Chun is in danger because the townspeople are becoming suspicious of her. After this, Q goes in search of Kun and hides him in a frozen lake to protect Chun. When they meet, Q tricks her by telling her that he freed Kun, but she notices the well in the distance and throws herself into the frozen water to find Kun, but faints and is knocked unconscious. The old rat lady finds her in the water and takes the ocarina, revealing that her intention was to obtain that object to escape to the world of humans. Kun appears and awakens Chun so that they can both escape from the place. Q finds them on the surface and takes them to a safe place so they can recover. During their recovery, Chun dreams of the day when Kun returns to the world where he belongs. Q overhears Chun talking to Kun, so he makes an important decision and rushes to the dock to go talk to Ling Po, the guardian of souls. Upon arrival, Q offers his own life so that Chun can regain the life she lost because of the deal she made with Ling Po. But he explains to him that it won't do any good since Chun will die the day Kun leaves for the world of humans. Then, before leaving, he says something in his ear and gives him a rattle like the one he had given Chun. The presence of a human soul in the world of the others is altering the natural order of things in a way never seen before, so the villagers unite against Chun to end Kun's life. She barely escapes, but Q appears at that very moment and uses an ancient mask he stole to open the portal to the world of humans. Kun and Chun try to escape through the portal, but the old rat woman appears and beats them to the punch, telling them that they will not be able to pass through the portal without an object from the human world. The sea of humans is the sky of this world, so the gaps in the clouds violently flood the entire city and leave it in ruins. Chun and Kun are miraculously saved from the fall, as their grandfather, in the form of a tree, reduced the impact. The villagers are still looking for Kun to assassinate him, so he begins to escape while being violently chased. Chun asks her grandfather to help her out of this situation and he responds by sending his wife in the form of a phoenix to help the villagers, who continue to be hit by floods. Chun tries to help them with her magic, but they reject her as they consider her responsible for the destruction of the city. Seeing her mother crying, Chun decides to put an end to it all and throws herself into the water to merge with her grandfather. The roots of the begonia tree begin to grow incredibly until they reach the sky to plug the holes and thus prevent the city from being flooded any further. Calm returns to the city thanks to Chun's sacrifice, but Kun has not yet returned to his world and is very sad about Chun's death. So he takes a branch from the tree and swims to the dock, where he meets Ling Po. The guardian of souls uses this branch to bring Chun back to life and tells him that he will no longer be able to live in that world. Saying goodbye to the soul guardian, Chun meets Q, who joins them. At night, he tries to take advantage of his last moments with the love of his life to confess his feelings to her, but weeps tirelessly, not daring. The next morning, Q performs the ritual to open the portal to the world of humans and Chun says an emotional goodbye to Kun, remembering every moment they have lived together. Kun begins to fly through the portal as Chun watches. At that moment, Q takes courage and breaks the rattle given to him by the Guardian of Souls to consume a magic spell that envelops him in magical fire. He starts yelling at Chun to give him his hand and explains that he gave his life to Ling Po to send her to the world of humans, so they waste no time and both jump into the water. Q says goodbye to Chun, telling her to think of him every time she sees the wind and rain, as he will be with her. Chun can't stop crying as he sees his friend for the last time. Q dies and transforms Chun into a red dolphin to go through the human portal. On the other side, in human bodies, Kun and Chun meet on the seashore. At the end, after the credits, Ling Po revives Q and declares him his successor, making it clear that the boy will be the new guardian of souls. The end. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and click the bell icon to get new anime recaps.